decided to do this part of the batch indoors because it's disgusting out. It's also pretty hot in the kitchen. So these have been sitting in soapy water for 2 weeks. So I took them out of the soapy water and I've been scrubbing them. I've been using, since the soapy water was Dawn, I've been using this spray-on Dawn to do this because it's supposed to be 5 times more powerful. So as I was cleaning these, I noticed this interesting soft tissue, these white parts. It's not exactly the actual vertebral disc, but it must be an attachment for the vertebrae. So yeah, and it's not visible really through this side as much, but I tried taking this sacrum part of it here. I tried taking it off with a knife and I'm not really getting anywhere. It is loosening a bit, so you can see that it does cut as opposed to break. So definitely soft tissue. So that means I'm gonna try boiling these again and see if this loosens up on this set, since this is I'm only dealing with the spine today. So so they've been scrubbed. I used, again, my different size brushes and toothbrushes to get in between all of these nice abdomen, I think they're called, whatever. But anyway, the holes of the bones, and then through the spinal column itself. And these are still on the wire from the big boil that we did in the backyard in that giant drum. So since since this already broke into pieces, I'm just gonna do these in a regular size, like lobster pot. Okay, so this has only been going for a minute, just to show you what's going on here. I just am keeping things threaded through the wire because I really want to just keep them that way when everything is said and done, even though there already is some loose vertebrae, so I won't have a super perfect display, but at least some of it will be kind of together in the order it's supposed to be in, and we'll just see how long this takes. Gus is here. You gonna help too? Yeah, you helping? What's in this bucket? It's empty right now. Yeah, nothing's in there right now. 10 minutes into this boiling, now it stinks. I mean, everybody was complaining before when it was just barely even a smell. You know, we're far from that rotting flesh roadkill stage, but now that it's boiling, it's really good. Turn that off. Whew. And what I was going to do was, first I'm going to stick them in this bucket just so that they're out of the way, so that I can dump the disgusting water. Luckily the wire is not hot, so I can handle that just fine. I don't know if you can tell that the color is a little bit different just from being in boiling water. That's one thing that's sometimes hard to gauge with the bones, is the color, because when they're wet, it's totally different. It's just like, you know, my hair. When my hair is wet, it looks a different color. So this pot is pretty gross. I don't know if you can see. Yeah, you got some broth if you're into it. And I've discovered that for whatever reason, no matter which kitchen gloves I use, these were even really tight and still get little holes in them. My arms get covered in filthy water, so it's kind of pointless. They're hard to get on and off, but I don't know what else to do. Also, this water, since it's boiling, is gonna be disgusting. So I'm going to try to put one of these on, and look at that. I guess that's not gonna happen. So instead, I'm just gonna use some salad tongs here in order to get the drain to work. Okay, so now that this has boiled, I just wanted to see if that white soft tissue would come off any easier. It is more pliable, but it's still not coming off. So it just might take a long time to work at it. See if with the construction of, to give you an idea, this is how they go together. So this is part of the what's called the spinous process. So if the vertebrae body was lined up, then the discs go between each one like that. So so this is actually what's the inside, more inside your body. Of course, I'm talking about an animal here, but it's the same thing, still a mammal. So here I am with the stinky stuff. I'm gonna leave the brushes that I used out here in the sun to hopefully kill some of that funk. And then I'm going to try putting these in peroxide like we did down in the yard. I'm just trying to do it in a place that's a little more comfortable, because squatting in the grass for an hour is very hard for me. So I've also never done this with an open bucket before, so it will be an experiment. So far, a lot of this particular skeleton has had to do with experimentation. Okay, so this, if those stay down there, stay down, is the 3% peroxide, hydrogen peroxide. And just for shits and giggles, I'm going to stick a couple of these back in. I was posting on Instagram about how these bones that I've scrubbed and soaked about 4 different times are still very greasy. You can see that's why they're darker in color. The dark spots are still very greasy, and the white spots are fine. So I don't know if there's not a lot of room in here. So I'm just going to put a couple in and see if it helps at all. Someone suggested ammonia, so that's going to be my next experiment if this doesn't actually work. But for now, this is about, I don't know, 2/3 of the spine, and from the looks of it, I don't even need to add too much water. They're completely immersed, so a much stronger solution might even help clean them a bit better and take some of the smell away. It's kind of my big thing right now.